Hey guys, this video is a summary of everything I've learned about wet tumbling with stainless steel pins. It will also cover modifying a cement mixer to tumble brass and other media without losing pins, as well as how to reduce the noise level of the mixer. For this project, I used only common materials that anyone can acquire by going to their local dollar store, Ace Hardware, Home Depot, Lowe's, and/or Walmart. I buy stainless steel pins sold by Gun Tap on eBay. I pay $20 for 2.5 pounds with free shipping and handling. The opening of the mixer has a 16-inch diameter. The pin trap cover, which is, where is that thing? There it is. The pin trap cover and easy sort attachment I made were fabricated using a 16-inch stainless steel jumbo pizza pan purchased from Dollar General for $4.50 before tax. 2 bolts. Get this thing and I'll show it to you. 2 bolts right here. They are 2 inches long and 1/4 inch diameter. Were used in company of several fender washers and stainless steel nuts to hold the bolts onto the mesh wire. I used 2 wing nuts to secure the lid, which I'll show you guys in a couple minutes. The wire mesh I bought from Home Depot and cost $9 before taxes. Comes in a roll like this. It's HDX 1/4 inch hardware cloth. You can find it behind the lumber where they sell fencing. I bought the smallest possible roll they had in stock, which was 2 feet by 5 feet, 23 gauge. It's absolutely perfect for separating the pins from the brass. To attach my custom cover to the mixer, I purchased 5 2-packs of 2 3/4 inch chest latches, which are right here. They are, well, you can see what they are in the video. They're 2 3/4 by 1.5 inches. They were $3 a pack. 2 latches come inside of the package. I used 5/32 aluminum rivets to attach the chest latches to the mixer drum, which I will show you now. Right there, you can see the latches and the rivets. Notice how the rivets are attached, and you cannot see any trace of the rivets on the inside of the drum because it sucks into the plastic. I riveted the large parts of the latch to the drum with the rivets from the outside for aesthetics, and because the plastic was too thick to get a grip on the latch if done from the inside. I was worried that they would leak, or that the scrunched up part of the rivet would be exposed on the inside of the drum, but when you tighten the rivet, it actually sucks up inside of the holes, drilled into the plastic, and you can't see it at all. It's also watertight. Now notice with these, I had to put the rivets in the reverse way, and that is so the rivet actually catches inside of that little 1/4 inch spot. This one's actually better because it's not painted. Just wait for this shitty camera to focus. There you go. So, and then I painted them, and around the edges of the wire mesh I used Gorilla Tape so I don't get cut, because this stuff is razor fucking sharp and it will tear you up. I got hurt by that shit multiple times. I didn't feel that the baffles that came with the mixer did a very good job of agitating the brass, so I made my own custom baffles out of scrap metal that I had laying around. Hopefully you guys can see that. There's a small piece of metal that I used. There is a used license plate that I scrunched up to get the best agitation possible. I took the stock baffles out because they did a lousy fucking job. Okay, what's next? I have a lot of information to cover and a lot of stuff to share with you guys in this video, so that's why I'm speaking so fast and moving so quickly. For those of you who wish to do the same, adding baffles in your mixer, I recommend use license plates. You can bend them by hand, yet they're strong enough to agitate the mixture. If you aren't concerned with how the mixer looks, you can use self-tapping screws to secure them. I used 1/4-inch stainless steel bolts, which you can see there. These are leftover bolts that came off my Harley when I did modifications on that, which can be seen here. So, you're going to want to make sure that you're drilling them from the inside out. Oh, if you are drilling them from the inside out, you don't drill too close to the opening of the drum, because you could easily put the screw in a location that interferes with the rotation wheel. So then every time this drum turns, that bolt will hit that wheel. It's a lesson I learned the hard way. And I had to fill up a hole. What's next? Aha, now to the fun part. Here are a few things that I learned in my quest for perfectly clean brass. LemiShine detergent booster is a water softener used for hard water. It is acidic, and too much of it will discolor your brass, turning it pink. But this is the best stuff that you can put in there to clean your brass. Armor All Ultra Shine Wash and Wax is superior cleaning agent opposed to dish detergent, like Gone. This stuff works better. You don't need to overdo it with either. I have measured time after time to find the perfect recipe in order to share it with you all. Hot water works better than cold water. Multiple rinse sessions are absolutely critical for ultra clean brass. This is, of course, completely dependent on the size of your load. Giggity. An extending magnetic mechanics wand is a great thing to buy for picking up the occasional stray pin. Where is this thing? Can you see it? It extends. The pins that you buy from Gun Tap are magnetic, so you just walk around and pick them up if you have any loose ones. However, with this system that I've created and these two lids, you're not going to have any stray fucking brass, so you don't have to worry about it. The wands are sold at Home Depot, Ace Hardware, Walmart, AutoZone, and many other places, and I'm sure are usually under $5 depending on which size magnet you choose. In my personal experience, I have found that 1 hour is the perfect running time for an average load of around 500 to 1,000 brass casings. My testing was done with 44 mag, 45 auto, 38 special, and 357 magnum, which is what I'm going to be demonstrating in this video. I have a box over there with 500, 357 magnum cases, and I have approximately 1.5 gallons of hot water ready to go. I use 2 tablespoons of Armor All, 1 tablespoon of LemiShine, and 1.5 gallons of hot water. This mixture yields very clean brass, does not turn the brass pink, and does not overflow the drum or foam up excessively. If you run the mixer without the cover on, the stainless steel pins will fly out, and you'll spend some time picking them up from the floor. I've spent hours scanning the floor for pins like a crackhead looking for a rock. If you turn on your mixer and forget about it, or if you think an extra long cycle will yield cleaner brass, think again. Once the suds go away and the water is dirty, you are no longer cleaning your brass. It will just stay dirty, and you'll have to rinse it and run it again. Leaving your brass sitting in the dirty water is also not a good deal. Is also not good. Not a good deal, and will result in you having to rinse and clean your brass again. Another piece of advice: separate your nickel from your brass. Wash those separately. Don't use BBs like for a BB gun, as they will get stuck in the primer pockets, and that's a bitch. Okay, some things about LemiShine. Just some little FYIs, and then I'll get started with the tutorial. It's a water softener, not a soap. It conditions the water so that the soap can do its job. How much to use is dependent on how hard your water is and how dirty your brass is. If you have no suds at the end, you didn't use enough. If you have all suds at the end, you use too much. Same thing with the soap on that. The booster part is because you use it in combination with regular detergent, such as Dawn or Armor All. It is acidic, which I already mentioned, and prolonged exposure of it on your brass will discolor it and turn it red or pink. And wow, it took me 10 minutes to get through that. But that's all the stuff. Now I can show you guys how this awesome system works. The particular order I'm doing this does not matter at all. It all goes in. So there's my brass. There's my stainless steel pins from Gun Tap. Packaging looks like this. I recommend at least 5 pounds. For a mixer of this size. Got my brass in there, got my pins in there. Take this scalding hot water and dump that shit in there. Some people recommend that you run it for an hour with nothing but water in there. And then after an hour, just dump the dirty water out. Put clean water in there and then add your chemicals and let it run for another hour. If you want to spend 2 hours a load on your brass, that's totally cool. You can totally do that. I don't want to do that. Now if you notice, I painted all the latches except for one. This is because I didn't measure them, and it's only going to go on and fit perfectly one way, and this helps me line it up really quick. Another little piece of advice on this hardware cloth is that I was not able to see inside the drum with the hardware cloth installed. And then I painted it black. Lo and behold, I could see through it crystal clear. Just like the screen you may have on a porch. You can see right through it. But when it was gray, you cannot see into it, and that sucked. Because I like to see what's going on. Strap down all my pins. We're good to go. We've got it nice and tight. For the wash cycle, I've noticed that if you just let it run, the stainless steel pins will just fly out. They'll be all fucking over the place. It's a huge pain in the ass. That's where the 16-inch pizza pan comes in. I spray painted it. I ran out of paint, so I wasn't able to do this side. And I did not measure where the holes went, so I carved latch into the top of it, which was real easy because I painted it, so I just scraped the paint away. Latch tells me that this hole goes close to the latch. Then I don't have to fumble around with it, because if I do it the other way, I have a gap over here. It's on the screws. So, put that on, pop those out. I grab my little wing nuts. You guys don't have to worry, because I'm not going to make you sit here for an hour or 2 hours and watch this whole process. I'm going to let it tumble for an hour. I'm going to come back and I'm going to start recording again. And then on my computer, I will add the videos all together in one video and upload them on YouTube. So you will get to see everything, how it's done. Here we go. Put the button in the back. Oh. You know what I totally forgot to do? Stupid fucking video. What did I forget? I forgot to put my detergent in there because I was just going to do the rinse cycle. No big deal. The system's super easy. Take it off. 2 tablespoons of Armor All. Dumped in a little too much in my haste. I don't want to reshoot this whole fucking video. There we go. That's that easy. Take my cover and put it back on. I usually index the gold one at the top. Cool thing about this mixer is that it's very easy to turn by hand when it's not running. So if you need to cycle the drum around for whatever reason, you can easily do so without having to turn the machine on. I like that. So, This machine runs at 27 rotations a minute. I sat here with a stopwatch and I counted how many times I saw that latch go around in a minute. So if you ever were curious about the RPMs, there it is. Alright, it's been an hour. Let's see what we're working with. First things first, pull the cover off. There's a reason I use wing nut, so it'll be a lot faster. With that cover on, when it tries to spit the pins out, they don't land on the floor. If you notice, there's no pins on the floor, and there's I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 pins in the bucket because they hit that lid and they fell straight down. So that's the reason I leave the bucket there when I tumble. And back in focus. So, I don't know if you can see, but there are suds. You're about to see some really dirty, nasty water. Now, I take a hose. And I spray around the inside and get all the rest of the dirty shit out. And get the pins all washed down to the bottom there. The coolest part is what I think is the coolest part, because I put so much fucking work into it, is how I separate the brass from the pins. And you're about to see that. And this is why I did all this work, spent all this fucking money on this shit. You can see the water is nice and clear now. What I do, take this dirty water, just dump it. I'm gonna rinse this bucket out. And then, here comes the fun part. This takes like 2 to 3 minutes. And what I do is I start it up, I rotate it, you're going to see all these pins falling. So I'll go ahead and I'll bring the camera close so you can see the pins actually drop out. Yeah, there we go. It's going to be loud. And what I do is I spray water in there to help assist. That certainly speeds things up using the water. If you don't use the water, it takes forever to get the fucking pins out. So I'll put the camera back here. dump this water out, but I don't dump the pins out. I just dump the water out. The pins will stay there if you don't tilt it too high. Oh, I almost forgot. This is a Sterilite 30-gallon container. You can get these at the dollar store for $10. Or you can get them at Walmart for a little bit more. You can see, there's all my pins right there. Didn't lose a single fucking one of them. Love it. Okay, now, some of you may have a media separator, like this one. You don't really need it. I do it anyway. I'm going to do it for this video. Most of the brass is already going to be out. I just flip it back up. Pull all these latches off. And here you guys can see I have what looks like brand new brass and nickel. I mixed them on this load. I don't have too many of them, so I wasn't really that worried about it. Plus, if you know for a fact you're not going to do it for any more than an hour, I haven't had any problems with it. Okay, so what's the next step? Oh, now we need to dry them. Now, do we preheat the oven to 350 and set them in there for 15 minutes? Do we let them sit out in the sun? No, because not everybody in the world has access to a place with a lot of sun. Maybe the wife doesn't want you putting fucking brass or cartridges or cases in her oven. So here's my technique. I have two towels on the ground. I have that one, which is a final dry, and this one, which is a pre-dry. I'll show you how this works. First, I lay it all out on the big towel, and then I spread them around, get them all nice and flat. Got them nice and flat. All right, just fold the towel over. Give it a nice pat down. This is just the first step. This is not how I dry them. After that, that gets the majority of the water. So for the final dry, you don't soak your towel. This next step is going to get the water that's inside the casing. And this one I actually came up with on my own. Nobody told me about this. I would like to thank the members of Reloading Central on Facebook for a lot of the stuff that I mentioned in this video. Recipes and stuff like that. They were very helpful. Gave me a place to start. So I take the towel like this, and then I just roll it back and forth like that. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. Roll it back there. Roll it back to the end. Do that about 15-20 times. The brass just comes out dry as hell. No oven, no bullshit, no wasted time. Go ahead and check it out. Yep. Those are nice and dry. That's it. That's everything. Oh wow, it wasn't even in frame. Well, they're dry. I don't know how much you guys saw. And that's my whole setup, and that's everything I can teach you guys about this. I hope it was helpful. For those of you who may be looking to get a pin sorter. Oh, that's the other thing. When you do that rotation thing, if there are pins that are left in the cases, they'll usually fall out and they'll be on the towel. So, spread them all over and look for pins. There's one pin. This is just like using that media separator, only it's nowhere near as loud and it's 10 times faster. I'm going to take that one pin, go ahead and toss it in the box with the other pins. I'll show you guys how a media separator works and how loud it is for those who don't have one or think about getting one. Hope you can see this. I'll pull this all out, make sure I'm in frame. So everything gets dumped in the basket. Basket gets closed. It's got a lid, which will reduce the noise significantly. Still a pain in the ass. But as you rotate it, the idea is that the pins will fall out of each rake. You can use this with corncob or stainless. So it's a lot quieter. If you go too fast, the force will hold them against the thing, and they don't even tumble. So you can't go really fast and just get it over with. You gotta go kind of slow. Else it doesn't really do anything. If you have pins, when you pull it out, they'll be sitting on the bottom. There's one pin. But I didn't use the towel as much as I normally would in the interest of time for the video. There we go. Shiny clean brass. And it was super easy compared to the shit that I was doing. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you learned anything at all, please subscribe. Please, please, please. It'll help me so much. I'm trying to get this channel launched so I can bring you guys a lot more cool stuff. This whole endeavor set me back around $430 that I didn't have to spend. But when you're looking into wet tumbling and you want to convert from the corn cob or the walnut or whatever you might have been doing, you look at these tumblers. They got like the Frankfurt Arsenal and the other tumblers, and they're $200 plus tax. Then you got to buy the damn pins on top of it, and they're not very big. And I was like, well, shit, I've got over 10,000 casings. You know, it takes me forever to clean them with the corncob thing. Sometimes I'd run them overnight. Most cases I'd run them overnight. And I was like, if I'm going to get into this and spend that kind of money, I'm just going to go all out and get something huge. So I had the cement mixer idea. I popped it up. I went and bought it. Then I get on YouTube and find out that I'm not the only one that came up with this fucking idea. So that was a little frustrating, but it was kind of helpful because that's how I found out about the license plate idea. That was a guy named Aaron in Reloading Central on Facebook. But anyway, I'm talking too much. I gotta go put these videos together, upload them on YouTube, and then share it with the world. Everybody have a good day. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe. Later.